He rose to fame with thunder high range vocals. But then, something happened. This is the story and detailed analysis of how, where, and how Robert Plant lost his high-range voice, and the recovery that made him refine his style, opening the doors for a 40-year-plus solo career later. Robert Anthony Plant made it to the big leagues like very few singers of his generation, with the almost impossible task of fronting a group next to John Paul Jones, John Bonham, and Jimmy Page. But Plant was not only able to do so, but stole the show many times over with explosive vocals that became a signature siren announcing the arrival of Led Zeppelin. The band's first two albums, recorded less than a year apart, gave Plant endless chances to unleash that organic fury on stage. Raw, fearless, and untouchable. Plant absolutely crushed the competition while stealing dudes' girlfriends just by looking at them. Both envied and celebrated by the rock world, prime Robert Plant was a savage performer. Those early Zeppelin tours had Robert singing through loud sound systems, no monitors. To be heard over John Bonham's drums tells you the kind of force Plant had. Yet this voice was something he had to learn how to tame for the sake of his career. By 1970, his incredible energy demanded discipline out of necessity, as the pressure to sing demanding openers like We're Gonna Groove and Heartbreaker grew. Led Zeppelin IV raised the vocal stakes in the ways of Immigrant Song, Since I've Been Loving You, and Out on the Tiles.
I think that we've reached that stage now, and it's left to us to keep on coming up with something good.
Robert's smoking habit didn't stop. Like many rock singers at the time, tobacco was a favorite pastime, and they all felt invincible. They were young, wealthy, and revered. Having a cigarette was no big deal. Now, Plant wasn't known for warming up his voice. He'd just get up on stage and perform, one of the most difficult jobs in the business. He had it all: the mid-range of Elvis, the raspy tones of Janis Joplin, the Daltrinisms of Roger, and the gypsy ways of West Coast California songs. Recording Led Zeppelin IV was the culmination of every lesson learned on stage and off. They couldn't choose a better time to do so. This was Robert's voice at his finest. He could go low and high with ease. The material on the album, though, proved to be the beginning of the end as soon as they hit the road in March. Led Zeppelin played Ireland. The first night in Belfast remains one of the best shows the band ever did, where Plant could do no wrong. The second night, a small alarm went off during Black Dog. BBC sessions were recorded on April 1st, 1971 at London's Paris Theatre, and Robert was not fully recovered from the laryngitis he caught a month before.
First of all, I better say, sorry about last week. We did about 18 dates in about 6 days. No, well, at least 20 days. And my voice just gave up altogether. So we hope it's all in condition tonight. But if it's not, cheer, because you're on the radio.
Led Zeppelin came back to America, and it was at the famous LA Forum where things changed for Robert. It was August 21st. He just turned 23 the day before, and he went for it on stage, singing like there was no tomorrow, holding nothing back, vocal cords pushed to the limit, never to perform like this again. He apologized to the crowd at the next 2 shows. He knew something was wrong, and there were still 18 concerts to play in North America. Led Zeppelin IV was finally released in November 1971. The subsequent UK tour found Robert catching a cold. Although he did wear shirts, bare chest shows like Birmingham didn't help. He carried through, taking it easy on certain parts, not going for high notes that often, and crossing his fingers, the flu would go away. The toughest challenge lay ahead, to live up to the expectations of their best-selling record and sing rock and roll, Black Dog, and Stairway every night or evening depending on the concert schedule. 1972 was a busy year. Visiting so many countries meant changing weather, humidity, air-conditioned hotels and planes, all the lovely things that can hurt a singer big time. Touring plans back then rarely took this into account. It was demand and supply, building the modern-day rock business at the expense of hardworking musicians. They played Australia, where Robert's high range was a hit-or-miss thing, having to be extra careful how to use it. It was not an automatic weapon like before, more like a sniper rifle. I'm talking about his voice, of course. Led Zeppelin entered the studio for Houses of the Holy. Robert's low end seemed to vanish for a much more nasal and brighter frequency, relying on variations of the mid-range with occasional screams here and there. Special tape effects were used to slow down no quarter, and high-pitched Plant's vocals on the song remains the same. They were back on the road playing North America in June 1972. This was officially released as How the West Was Won, and you can check my detective analysis here on the channel. It's obvious Robert's nasal voice is shifting away from the power it used to have, cracking in specific places. He's still a showman, of course, but the delivery has a different EQ, so to speak. Being the singer in Led Zeppelin was a larger-than-life role with larger-than-life extracurricular activities and endless thrills to cater to. Robert's smoking didn't stop. Zeppelin's second and last return to Japan in October saw them change the opening number. Plant couldn't do Immigrant Song right off the bat. Rock and roll took the spot. Slowly but surely they started adding more props. Jimmy had a better outfit, and the instrumentals were getting better to help Robert out. Their rockstar looks improved, but they needed to take time off for him to recover. But everybody wanted to see the mighty Zeppelin. Their highly anticipated UK tour began in November 1972, and this began the new rules for Robert, taking 2 or 3 songs to warm up, altering the melody on Over the Hills and Far Away, and wearing a shirt to deal with the cold winters in Nevermind. The British tour continued through early 1973, and welcome to Robert Plant's worst nightmare, January 2nd at Sheffield's City Hall. Robert and Bonzo's car broke down in the middle of a blizzard. Walking and hitchhiking were the only ways to arrive in time for the show. As a result, Plant caught a nasty flu that changed his voice forever. While the Sheffield bootleg suffers from poor audio quality, trust me, you'll get the idea. Why they didn't cancel the performance is mind-blowing. It's not like their albums were not selling. Money was coming in, but I guess the show must go on.
I developed a terrible case of the flu, and rather than cancel tonight, flooded up from Birmingham. We were to keep people by that no lies, you'll be a happy man.
25 more shows followed through England and Europe. His new voice remained the same. By the time they filmed their New York, July 1973 shows, Plant had learned how to use his new voice. The iconic raspy tone was doubled down with controlled fire of short ad-libs, high notes within reason, and extra swagger. This is one of the reasons the instrumental side of things here remains prime Zeppelin, shifting the lens on their strengths while giving Robert the right conditions for his rockstar glow to keep on shining. Then the tour was over, and the band took a very long vacation from the stage. Plant got allegedly vocal surgery for nodules, thus why Physical Graffiti's vocals for the new material sound different. His high note capacity was not 100% recovered by early 1974 when these sessions took place. There's slight strain going on, but the songs worked in favor of his major talents, phrasing. Losing the crazy high range was a blessing in disguise for the band. Just imagine the guy who did Black Dog trying to sing Kashmir.
Is it every time I fall? I think this is the one.
But Physical Graffiti managed to bring the old Robert Plant back with 7 outtakes from previous albums, so fans wouldn't notice his new voice too much. Led Zeppelin's vacation was over in 1975. They played a 3-month run in North America, and things got off to the wrong start. The Great Storm in early January hit the US, and you guessed it, Robert somehow caught the flu again. Did he take any wardrobe precautions? Audiences expected his open chest looks, and he pushed through at the expense of a quicker recovery. His vocals experienced a physical graffiti. Those early months of touring were rough, and although he managed to warm up by March, there's only so much a rock star can do. Zeppelin played Earl's Court in May, and well, his voice remained uneven.
What we intend to do tonight is to take you through some of the colors of, if you regard music as being a prism.
The low mid-range stuff works, it's the other material where he takes his time and hopes for the best. As you think he was singing the most recent songs better than the early day material. But Jimmy Page got a black dragon suit in time for the show, so maybe he could distract the audience members from Robert's vocal trouble. Presence came out in 1976, and you can hear Plant's nasal tone in full. He recorded this in a wheelchair, and the album doesn't really feature heavy high-range notes outside of a strong crescendo on Achilles' Last Stand. We are treated here to the first chapter in a new phase for Robert's career. Heavy emphasis on the storytelling side of things. He could be playful, aggressive, relaxed, and introspective. The song Remains the Same soundtrack was released in October 76, and I think I found microscopic vocal overdubs done that same year on a couple of songs. You can check my episode on this for more details. Note, if we look at the official Live Zeppelin releases, most of the edits happen in the vocal department, and it's understandable. Robert was fighting a personal battle with his own instrument at the time, trying to make peace with it on stage. By 1977, Led Zeppelin was ready for the road. The North American comeback contained some of Robert's best vocals since 1972 in terms of consistency, which is remarkable considering he got tonsillitis months before opening night. But this time, unlike 75, he was allowed to rest and recover to get well for the tour. band had many great nights April through June, with Plant's mojo back, rivaling the tour's MVP John Bonham in power. After 42 shows, everything was cut short in July when tragic news of Carrick Plant's passing stopped the tour in New Orleans, and with it, Robert's darkest hour. Singing became the last thing on his mind. Silence was to be his escape. 1979 saw the release of In Through the Outdoor, and you can tell Robert's time away from touring, while mourning his son, managed to heal his now 31-year-old voice and transform the approach into what his future solo career would be. A stronger low end, dramatic yet controlled high range notes, a different kind of conviction in how the lyrics were presented.
In the little wagon that we saw 2 nights ago, camping out there. Just come round to the back afterwards and write an acoustic set with us. You are the sunlight in my growing. It isn't hard to feel me glowing.
Past a low-key tour of the UK in 1981 with the Honey Drippers, Robert's solo album debut came out in 1982, and he never looked back. His vocals carried the fire of Led Zeppelin Trails, embracing the mid-range and avoiding rock cliches, while slowly building confidence for experimentation year after year. I don't know when Robert quit smoking, but you can tell he did. There's no way he could have done the 1990s hard rock stuff, plus 216 shows as Page and Plant, and Walking into Clarksdale, which I think is a great album. 12 solo albums later, he built a successful career, collaborated with hundreds of musicians, reinvented the very wheel that gave him his big break, and most importantly, he preserved his style when it looked like he would be just another 70s casualty. Unlike other singers repeating the same thing for 40 years, Robert walked a different path and remains an artist. The records he put out since 2002, including the Alison Krauss exquisite collabs, are must-haves for audiophiles and collectors. And for one night, in 2007, he pulled a mighty reunion show where his Led Zeppelin 1977 vocals came back for a celebration day, wearing a proper shirt.